What do you think of yourself? Are you a smart, talented, and hardworking person who deserves all the good things that happen to you? Or are you a dumb, lazy, and unlucky person who suffers from all the bad things that happen to you? If you answered yes to the first question and no to the second question, congratulations. You have healthy self-esteem and a positive self-image. But you also have a self-serving bias, and it affects how you interpret your outcomes. The self-serving bias is the tendency to take personal credit for positive outcomes, but blame external factors for negative outcomes. For example, if you pass a test, you might think that it is because of your intelligence and hard work. But if you fail a test, you might think that it is because of the unfair teacher or bad luck. Similarly, if you win a game, you might think that it is because of your skill and effort. But if you lose a game, you might think that it is because of the bad referee or the poor conditions. But why do we have this bias? What makes us see ourselves in such a favorable light? There are two main reasons: motivation and cognition. Motivationally, we have a need to maintain and enhance our self-esteem and self-interests. We want to feel good about ourselves and protect our ego from threats or challenges. Therefore, we seek information or perspectives that match our point of view and confirm our beliefs. Cognitively, we have errors in processing information and making judgments. We tend to focus on salient and available information, such as our own actions and intentions, while ignoring or downplaying other factors, such as situational constraints or randomness. There are individual differences that influence how much we exhibit this bias. For example, people with an internal locus of control, the belief that they have control over their outcomes, are more likely to show the self-serving bias than people with an external locus of control, the belief that outcomes are determined by external forces. The self-serving bias can have both positive and negative effects on our behavior and decisions. On the positive side, it can enhance our motivation, confidence, optimism, resilience, and well-being. It can also help us cope with stress, failure, or adversity by reducing negative emotions and increasing positive emotions. On the negative side, it can impair our learning, performance, feedback seeking, accountability, cooperation, and interpersonal relationships. It can also lead to overconfidence, unrealistic expectations, self-deception, denial of responsibility, blame shifting, prejudice, aggression, and conflict. We can see the self-serving bias in many domains. For example, politicians often claim credit for positive outcomes, such as economic growth or social progress, but blame others or external factors for negative outcomes, such as corruption or terrorism. This can help them gain popularity and support from their constituents, but also undermine their credibility and accountability. So how can we avoid or reduce the self-serving bias? The key is to adopt a more balanced and realistic perspective on our outcomes. We can do this by seeking feedback from others who can provide us with objective and constructive information. Considering alternative explanations for our outcomes that consider both internal and external factors. Acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses and recognizing our achievements and failures. Learning from our experiences and taking responsibility for our actions. Being humble and grateful, and appreciating the contributions of others. By being aware of this bias and its effects, we can make better decisions and improve ourselves and our relationships with others. Remember, it is not always about us, but also about the situation and the people around us. Like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.